Well guys, today we are building the least balanced gaming PC build possible. We're basically building what every ignorant people who looks online wants to build. So a PC which is highly bottlenecked on the GPU, where we spent all of our money to buy an RTX 4090 for 2,000 euros, okay? Which is actually cheap for this Asus ROG Strix model. So 2,000 euros RTX 4090, and then we spent like 500 bucks on everything else, okay? So all of our money is going into the GPU. And surprisingly, this PC is not actually gonna be that bad for like two people that want to play at like 4K for like normal titles, or like people that have to do GPU only rendering, or like very weird people. But for those people, it's actually gonna be a good gaming build. So we are pairing this RTX 4090 Asus ROG Strix OC, the best on the market. Well, aside from the Matrix, by the way. I don't know if you know what the Matrix is. It's a graphene cooled card. We'll have it on the channel. But anyways, we are pairing it with a DDR4 motherboard with 16 gigabytes of RAM because we finished our money, with a locked board, a B660 gigabyte Gaming X, with an i7 12700KF and a 1 terabyte NVMe drive that's actually pretty good. But then we're putting all just brand new, the latest XPG components. Now XPG is a very good brand I've been using, and they have anime girls on the packages. That's the only reason we use them on the channel, but they are actually pretty good. So we're using an 80 plus gold 850 watts power supply, which is pretty tight for the 4090. I think Nvidia doesn't recommend you get this power supply, but I can show you that since it's a good power supply, it's gonna work regardless. Then we're using a 240mm all-in-one water cooler, the XPG Levante X240. And again, the PSU is the Kyber 850 gold, or Kyber, depending on how you call it. And we're putting all of that into this XPG Lander 501 black case. Hopefully the GPU will fit. So with that said, I say we get into building and then we test it and see if it's actually such a bad combo or if it's decent. You actually shouldn't pair those things at home, but hey, I've seen worse in terms of bottlenecks, okay? So let's get building. Okay, let's see what's inside. SATA powered LEDs, all the sockets, fans, actually looking pretty nice. And then let's see the pump design. It's another infinity mirror one. I like it. Now guys, look at this. XPG put numbers on their cooler. This is the 1, and the 2 is the opposite, because in this way you can basically be sure to apply the paste evenly by going in an X pattern. So you first tie this, then the 3 XPG X pattern, guys. Genius, just pure genius. It's time to open up the case. Guys, it's gorgeous. Now, something good about this case is they also give you this screw adapter to put in the motherboard standoff, which is super useful. So basically you put it on the standoff, and then you can just use a normal screwdriver to just have it nice. Okay, so we have plugged in the motherboard, cooler, and connected all the cabling. Now, this case is actually massive, which is great for our 4090, and it even supports fans on the side. Now, this GPU, spoiler, runs very quiet, so we actually don't need them, but I think I will full it out with RGB fans. Obviously, this is just for aesthetic purposes. We are not counting it in the budget or in like the purpose of this video, okay? But now, let's actually put the power supply in. Our favorite anime girl again. No, guys, this is like, you should buy it just for this. You don't understand. Like, these are stickers, guys. It's heavy. Oh, it's non-modular. 80 plus gold, non-modular, but it's much cheaper thanks to this. And it has a massive 846 watts on the single 12 volt line. It's actually great, Okay, so at this point we have the PC finished, we have the power supply in, and we also mounted all the fans. Now this case can host a lot of fans because It has a maximum of 3 on the top, 2 on the side, 3 on the front, 1 on the back. So if I know how to do math, it's like 9 fans. In this case, we put 8. We put 3 noise blocker RGB on the front, the one we used in the other build as well. We put a noise blocker black one on the back. And then I put Chook Silence as outtake here on the side. Now, if you're gonna put a high-end GPU in here, it's better to put them as intake, but they look much worse, so we put them as outtake, okay? So at this point, I say we open up the GPU, and now we have this Asus ROG Strix RTX 4090, and the unboxing experience of this beast alone is something truly, truly amazing. So let's go and take a look, okay? Now, I admit I have opened this card before this video, because I was too curious, but just like, just look at the box. It's all like fully engraved with Asus ROG logos. Then you open up, we have like a pass to get like warranty or something, I don't know. Then we have stickers, plenty of stickers. We have this thing in which you can build your own GPU stand. I mean, it's just nice overall, you know what I'm saying. But let's actually get to the card. And it's massive, guys, it's absolutely massive. Under that, in the box as well, you have more boxes in which they give you like the actual cable, which we are not gonna need, because surprisingly, this XPG power supply has a 600 watt cable. Crazy. Now, it is worth noting that you can also vertical mount in this case. You just have to detach this and rotate it, but we're not gonna do it in this case. Okay, this is probably the only thing I don't like about the case is this, because it was interfering with the motherboard. I prefer the ones which you can put back if you change your hardware configuration, to be honest. Okay, so the best point of the video, putting a 4090 in this PC. Ah guys, the case can't hold it. I have to like rather quickly go ahead and lock it in place. It wasn't actually too bad, and it's not even sagging really. Okay, so now we have to get our lovely 12 volt high power cable. Now I think the best way to route it is from the top. And yes, this is the cable that you use to catch on fire. But since we are not using the extension, this one is not supposed to catch on fire. So that's, I guess, a bonus in today's market. Again, you might disagree with my mounting choices, but I really don't want to bend this thing too much, even though they allegedly fixed it. So I think I am gonna mount it just like this, even though it's not the prettiest, but I think it's not the worst either, to be honest. So guys, this is how we do cable management at automotive PSUs. As you can see, we have all the cables just tidily managed. And now we're gonna, yes, obviously do some proper cable management off camera, you know, but unfortunately we will not show you, but yes, we're gonna do it. Obviously, you know, I'm not just gonna close this panel and call it a day, because why would I do that, right? Remember, RTX 4090 PC, right? Okay guys, first boot. Let's see if it does actually boot. No. Okay, so it is working, but we have various issues. We will fix them and come back. Well, here we are with the PC finally fully finished, and I did actually change the RAM to some RGB RAM, by the way, just because I think it looks nicer. But first look at the aesthetic. Now, I think it came out looking nice. Those noise blocker fans, we've used them in the past. They look stunning on the front. However, on this XPG case, we actually had to take out the front dust filter in order for them to fit, because if we actually kept it on, it would make a terrible noise. The front panel is fully magnetic, as you can see by the footage, and I think it's looking stunning. Now we fully populated the case, and we went with 3 fans on the front, 2 fans on the top, 2 fans on the side, 1 fan at the back, so 8 fans in total. As I mentioned already, if you're doing this strictly for performance, you want the side fans to be intake as well, so be sure to keep that in mind. But we kept them as outtake because the temperature of this GPU is absolutely ridiculously low, so there was no need to rotate them and losing aesthetic for this. Another notable thing is the power supply. Again, it had the 12 volt high power cable out of the box, and I think it is also pretty well stretchable, so contrary to the extension that NVIDIA gives you, this is much better, it looks nicer, so aesthetically I am very pleased. Let's talk about what you're all here for, performance and bottleneck, clearly, because those are the 2 topics of today. So first off, we went ahead and tested 1080p. Now at 1080p there is a massive bottleneck. The RTX 4090 is actually so powerful that even with an i9 4900K, you'd still have bottleneck in competitive titles. So what does that mean? Again, I want to go too in depth. I assume you know what bottleneck is. Basically, the CPU is limiting the GPU, if it makes sense. So you're wasting power and money. So honestly, if you are at full HD with this CPU, whether you're using an RTX 4080 or an RTX 4090, you would see 0 FPS difference. So there is no point in getting a 4090. I did test this in Apex, and Apex has an engine cap of 300 frames per second. And we were reaching 300 frames per second all the time, even in landing with this hardware configuration. So it's just maxed out and it can't go any higher. Now we tested Warzone, and even in Warzone, we were reaching the magic 300 FPS number, which is crazy for Warzone at 1080p. Even there, it wasn't really stable, it was still dipping. But that's just Warzone. It's like very difficult to get high frame rate consistently. I recommend you go check out my Matrix RTX 4090 review. That is a graphene cooled card. We had it with a 13th Gen i9. And even with that, really maxing out Warzone is difficult. So that was expected. Fortnite, I won't even mention. You can push 500 plus frame per second on this thing. So more than you can see in any monitor available right now. So it's just pointless. So for 1080p, it is a useless card. You're better off buying a 4080, or actually my favorite pick is the RTX 4070 Ti, which is what I've discussed in the past. You save some money, get most of the performance. So yes. Or a 3090, which is what I'm using in most of my builds lately. If we step things up to 4K, things change. So at 4K, we are still able to max out the 240 FPS on Apex. However, in Warzone, things dramatically change. In Warzone, it's very hard to go higher than 240 FPS, and we actually see still a bit of CPU limitation here, because with an i9 we would be able to push a bit higher, maybe 240 locked with an i9. In Fortnite still, we are pushing all the frames we want. So the trend is the bottleneck is reducing as we go higher, because as we go higher, the workload is higher and we use more of the GPU. Now, if we go at 4K, this is where you should actually be using a 4090. So this is a proper 4K gaming GPU. It's what NVIDIA told during their marketing for the 3090, but actually the 4090 is what you actually want for 4K gaming. So for example, if you play Cyberpunk 4K, maxed out. We tested it, I don't have the footage, but we reached 100 FPS. And now 100 FPS is clearly a GPU limited scenario. So whether you had an i9 or an i7, there would have been no difference playing at 4K, Cyberpunk, maxed out. Same can be said for The Witcher, or in general, single player titles. So it all depends on your workload. If you were doing 3D rendering, computer aided design, CAD, there would have really been no point in actually getting a better CPU. Even if we have 16 gigabytes of RAM, DDR4, you wouldn't have benefited anything by doing an upgrade with DDR5 and an i9, which is kind of crazy. And this is the whole point of this video. So I guess if you want to play at 4K, single player title, maxed out, you can actually do a build like this, in which you spend all your money on the GPU and then just save it on the rest. But you have to do like we've done today and get a good case, spacious enough for your RTX 4090, a good power supply with the latest ATX 3.0 standard, and just in general, good cooling so that everything runs nice and cool. I will put the test now, thermal testing, just quickly. It's a bit boring, but as you can see in Firestrike, we ran it, did 80K in graphics, and we did like 60 degrees hotspot. In heaven, it was at not even 50 degrees hotspot. In gaming, it was completely cold. Everything is running nicely, but the point is, you have to spend a bit, but not too much if you want to focus on your GPU. You can actually put a 4090 in a build like this if you're gonna do it for the right use case. So those are my conclusions. You might disagree. Feel free to disagree in the comments. I will read and answer to them. And please drop a like and a sub if you like this video, and see you in the next one, guys. Bye!